going, going, going loud. Sorry, it's got to be done, especially on a Sunday afternoon.
It has, so we're now live in the group. Afternoon, everybody. As you'll see, there's not just the two of us today. We have a special guest, and it's Alicia Plummer. And who's popping in and out occasionally. So do say hi. Let us know where you're listening from. Have you got a beverage with you, Emma? Have you got a hot drink or a cold drink today?
Cup of tea in my favourite mug.
I've got hot chocolate.
Tap water.
Oh, healthy.
Well, it's only 10:30 in the morning here, and it's actually going to get to be about 93 degrees today, mid-90s.
Right, yeah.
So I'm preparing for it.
Yeah, you definitely need to hydrate.
Yeah, and I have my cotton knitting for today because I can't be dealing with wool while I'm working today. So I'm going to be cotton and linen only today.
Oh, don't blame me for that. Well, Michelle's with us. She says, hello, ladies. Lovely to see our guest too.
Hi, Michelle.
Michelle's actually knitting one of Melissa's patterns.
Oh, which one?
Homegrown.
Homegrown, yeah. Although she did tell me she was going to buy Fable because, you know, I wear it so well.
Well, stand up and show us Fable. Let's have a look.
There we go. Woo! How gorgeous is this pattern?
Beautiful. It fits so nicely too.
Yeah, so
the fit in your upper body is really good.
Oh, my boobage. That's the bra.
Yeah, it's definitely doing the boobage a bit of enhancement there. That's really good.
I am going to be right back. My dog just jumped out the door. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's all right.
Honey, come here. Honey.
Right, we'll wait for Honey Bun to turn up again.
Oh, bless. That's what doggies are there for distractions and fun.
Oh, Michelle says she's got fizzy pop, and wow to the heat there with Alicia. That's going to be really tough on the dog as well, isn't it? As well as the kids.
The jockey's she's not dark. All that dark fur.
Yeah.
Oh. So while we're waiting, should I have a flash of my cardigan that I'm just knitting for you?
Let's have a look. Let's have a looky.
So we have one sleeve picked up and knitted.
Cute.
And the back and the fronts. And now I've just picked up the second one.
Oh, that's so cute. I'm loving that pink and grey.
It's a lovely combo.
It's a really nice yarn, isn't it?
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Oh, look at that doggy woogie.
Oh, bless.
So I have a screened porch, but we took some of the screening down to fix it because there were holes that the bugs were getting into.
Right.
And she jumped right through the opening and went down the hill to the dog. So
she's in her teenage years.
Yeah.
Bless her.
Well, yeah, Labradors are puppies for a long time.
Yeah,
they certainly are. So the reason that we asked Alicia to join us today, not least because we're both big fans, you'll have seen on numerous of my projects where I've knitted probably more ease than is natural for a person to do, because I just love the sweater. And I even had to make 3 of the bulky one as well.
Wow.
I've got a birch bark. There's a textured one, down something. Down
home?
Down, it could be that one.
Down home.
Is it a crew neck with a textured body and then the plain sleeve in a chunky yarn? I've made that one. And then there's a little version of it as well, because I made that for my cousin's baby when she was born for Isla. But I went through my projects before, and I think I've got 50 of your patterns.
Oh my gosh.
Super fan.
So, you know, not that I have a pattern buying problem at all.
No.
You know, no.
I mean, at least you're knitting them, you know,
Well, that's
and you
the
never
thing.
know, like, I feel like it's really good to have a good backlog of patterns, because sometimes you get yarn or you forget that you had yarn, and then you have the perfect pattern all ready to go. And I know a lot of other knitwear designers, myself included, this is the only way that I support myself and my girls. So every single pattern purchase means the world to me.
Yeah.
It matters, doesn't it? It does make a difference.
Yeah.
Well, Emma's really enjoyed. You really enjoyed making Fable, didn't you? Because we've been showing that.
It's like a good book. I couldn't put it down until I got to the end.
That must be one of your fastest garments ever.
I think it probably was the fastest garment ever, because I just wanted to wear it. I couldn't wait, and I didn't do the body. I did the sleeves first, so I kept putting it on and trying it on, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be so great. Yeah, fun knit. Really fun.
I just knitted. Just bound off this morning on a tank top design in Kestrel, and it was so hard for me to knit it because I knit it flat. If you knit with linen in the round, you can do it, have some pattern, but over time, and bias in the body, and I didn't want this piece to do that over time. Plus, the structure of the seams really helps the garment's longevity. But not being able to know how it was going to fit until I had completely finished the whole piece was like agonizing for me, because I'm not a very patient person either.
It just makes a world of difference when you can try it on, doesn't it? And you know that it's going to look so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm always arguing about the value of seams, that for those very reasons, about the structure and stopping the spiraling and the movement on the body, and just how much longer the garment will last because it's got those joins, and that's giving it a lot more structure.
Yeah, like if you do like a bottom up drop shoulder, you know, you have two options for the shoulder, and a lot of people are like, well, I'd rather Kitchener because it looks a lot smoother and cleaner, but all that extra bulk and that extra ridge really adds to the longevity of the garment and the structure in a really important way sometimes. And so I do a 3 needle bind up there a lot on drop shoulders and on tank tops, even though Kitchener's smoother, simply for that fact.
Yeah,
brilliant. So what's your main inspiration, Alicia?
For
your design, what is it that makes you excited to knit something? What is it? Is it the yarn, or is it something that you see?
Oh, I love this question so much, because inspiration is really, really important to me. And so a lot of different designers approach design work in really, really different ways. Some of them look for what's going to be the most physically flattering. You know, I'm really good friends with another designer who likes to find inspiration theorems and architecture, and her work is just incredible. And that would be Bristol Ivy, if you guys are familiar with her. She's a good friend of mine. And if you haven't seen her work, if you haven't seen her books, check them out, because they are absolutely. I design from an approach. I'm really very, very emotional as a person. And so most of my designs have that little written blurb in them in the beginning. And that usually kind of touches a little bit on the inspiration for each piece. But it's usually like the texture and the color of the yarn, they kind of have like a mood, in my opinion. You know what like a cloudy gray wool is going to make you feel like cozy and rainy day, and you want like soft texture. Thin, crisp, undyed linen is remind you of a carefree, minimalistic day at the beach. So most of my designs are based off of either moments that I've experienced in my life that I've had. And it's a way for me to kind of storytell through my knitting. But then there's also, like, I like to keep an element of simplicity to my patterns, because I live in rural Maine, and my life isn't really messy, so I don't really get to go out to too many fancy places. So, you know, teaching my kids and puttering around in the garden, doing housework, running errands. So it's nothing too elaborate. And by the time I get to knit, you know, at the end of the day, I usually work from about 8 to midnight, 8 to 1 a.m. on top of like trying to sneak it in during the day. And I need a little bit of simplicity built into a lot of my stuff too, because my brain sometimes just can't handle too much at night.
I can understand that.
I think that's brilliant. Yeah. I love that the yarn kind of speaks to you.
Mm-hmm. I think I definitely have a tendency to...
Oh, that's good. Michelle says that I've caved in and bought Alicia's pattern. Listening to Emma, I really hope this is a straightforward knit because I love it. So, well done, Michelle.
Well,
we'll be there to help.
Yeah, and I'm always here too. You can always shoot me a message on Ravelry. And when I do go out of town once in a great while on camping trips, I also make sure that my tech editor is in my Ravelry group helping answer questions too. So we're all for you.
Yay.
Oh, fantastic.
It's a team effort. We'll get that jumper done.
Yeah, we will. Now then, campside. So you've got, this is obviously something quite dear to your heart because it's a whole range of patterns now, isn't it? Ever expanding.
Yes.
And you're going to be doing a knit along for that. So tell us more about that, Alicia.
Yes. Okay. So the original campsite, and I'm actually at my camp right now. The original campsite was written as an emotional response to me putting my family cabin on the market. My father passed away in 2007, and I spent every single summer of my childhood and my early adulthood at that cabin with him. And then when I was in college, I lived there every summer. So it was a really special place to me. At a certain point in my life, my ex-husband really felt like we should sell it, and I agreed. So we put it on the market. I wasn't really emotionally ready to do that. And so one of the ways that I kind of worked through the grief of leaving that place was through designing. And so the original campsite shawl had the gradation of the as the new one that's coming out this week. But you'll see it goes from almost no eyelets up here all the way to like a really heavy downpour. And the eyelets kind of represent raindrops and the growing intensity in a storm, but they also represent tears and grief. And they also, you know, the holes in the eyelets also represent places in our lives that we can let light in during pain and during hard times. During a pandemic, we can find hope and light. And so every single summer, I just kind of came back to that concept because it was a seasonal camp, and so I could only spend summers there. And I just love writing these patterns, and I love knitting them. It's a really relaxing knit. It's very, very straightforward, and it gives you a great result. And so this is the most recent one, and it is just huge. I did not check my gauge before I started this. And I'm really glad I didn't, because it's gigantic in the best way possible. I mean, you can just completely you can hide the small boobage. This is actually the great or ample boobage. This is great for nursing mothers too. I always liked to nurse with shawls covering my babies, but I didn't like and I know knit fabric is breathable, like breathable. Behold, it has so many outflows, so you could easily just cover up and nurse a baby if you wanted to. It's just huge, and it's just really great. But the knit along actually includes every single campsite pattern, including the free shawl.
Wow.
And the reason I'm including the tree shawl too is because I really want this to be inclusive. So if you can't afford to buy one of my patterns, but you still really want to participate, I want everyone to have access. If you do buy one of my patterns, thank you so much. This is the way I support myself too, as you know. I'm really, really excited about it. It kicks off on August 1st and it runs all the way through September. I think 18th or 19th. I'll have to double check that date. I believe it wraps up on the 18th at 8 p.m.
I think I might join it.
19th.
You'll have to decide which one to make, Emma.
Absolutely love it. Sorry, I think you've sold at me already.
Well, what else is really exciting is I have an amazing, amazing list of prizes, and I'm still adding more. So I still have I have 4 more that I still haven't posted to the prize board. So I'm gonna hit. Do I have your permission to hit share screen? Is that okay?
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
Okay. So okay. Screen. Let me see. Okay, is it showing my screen?
It is?
Yeah, I can see some wool.
Okay. Okay, so here's some of the prizes are 10 skeins of Birchall Ultra Alpaca, an entire set of interchangeable knitting needles.
Wow.
A bunch of these little notion pouches from my friend out in California. Deb, she's amazing. Some stickers from AdKnits. A project bag from Knitting Nelly. If you haven't seen Knitting Nelly's project bags, oh my gosh, they are so incredibly beautiful. I actually have one sitting in front of me, so I'll show you in a minute. This is just a little one. Hand-dyed yarn from Knot House, yarn from Seismic Yarn, Mama Just Knits, has a cute little project bag that's camping themed.
Oh, that's adorable.
A little owl pin and some yarn from her saturation and colorways are just gorgeous. And then my friend Tia is going to either donate a $50 Amazon gift card or 2 bottles of wine.
Wow.
Chameleon is donating a pattern. I'm obviously donating a pattern. Hudson and West is donating a beanie kit. Julia Salin is donating some yarn. Pom Pom Quarterly is going to donate some issues. I have also some soaps and hand lotions as well that are going to be donated by my friend Artemisia Herbals out in California. And I have even more yarn coming in as well. So we have a lot of prizes too for everyone that participates.
Oh, gorgeous.
Yay.
Yeah.
I probably need to make another campside pullover because I've made my other one and then lost some weight. So I need to make a smaller one.
And so I actually have, so this is one of Knitting Nelly's little project bags, and it's just absolutely adorable.
Oh,
and she
so
hand
cute.
built, I don't know, the lighting. I have some bigger ones too that are just stunning. And then these are the little notion pouches.
Oh, they're
and
quite big,
they can like clip to your
actually.
We have 6 individual ones, and they have a little yarn snipper and some removable markers right here that are really wonderful for like when you're working on the go. I found that if you can handle this clanking like against your leg when you're driving your car, it's amazing to have on hand. And it's also magnetized on the inside, which means that you could also pop a darning needle in there and like a little mini pair of scissors, because it's definitely, oh, I have right here and I can show you. So these are just awesome, but the mini scissors would fit really nicely.
Oh, yeah.
That's brilliant.
And they're magnetized too, because they're metal. And so you could literally just put everything right in there.
I just have fun playing with that. What can I put in that doesn't fall out?
Oh yeah, isn't it wonderful? And we have we have a couple different colors too. And then I also didn't list that we also have these mesh namaste project bags too that are kind of nesting. So
Oh, wow.
these are really great too. I don't know. I love awarding people prizes, so I've been working really hard to get as many prizes as possible because I think it's so fun, and I love when people are like, "Oh, I've never won anything," and they get so excited. It makes me excited. So yeah.
It's like Christmas.
Yeah, and I feel like the knit along will be happening in the Plum Dandy group on Ravelry, and both Melissa and I have worked really hard to make it a space that is encouraging and just really inclusive and welcoming to everybody. All of my test knits, I think some of you ladies have probably seen that all of my test knits have a very specific anti-hate and no bullying policy in them, and that policy does apply for my knit-alongs as well. I think it's really important, and I don't think that anybody in my group would ever do something that would make another person hurt. But I like to have those boundaries in place because I think boundaries are really important sometimes.
Yeah,
well, that's good. Can I just ask, Alicia, how is Melissa doing? I'd obviously seen the post in the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I actually just talked to Melissa a few days ago, and she and her girls are doing well. They're making the best of it, and you know, really treasuring the time that they have with Dave. And the girls have been doing Irish dance, and they just did like a week-long family vacation to some of the Great Lakes, because Wisconsin borders the Great Lakes and they love to go. And you know, the pictures that Melissa was posting, I'll tell you what, I did not realize the Great Lakes literally look like the ocean, because I've never really seen it. And it's beautiful, the pictures she was posting. They did kayaking and they're going fishing, and so they've been having a wonderful, wonderful time. But I would encourage everyone too that if you buy one of Melissa's patterns and you get stuck, shoot me a message, because my tech editor and I are here to support too, and we want to help support Melissa as much as possible as well.
Yeah,
but
absolutely. Yeah,
she's one of the strongest women I know, and she's one of the most incredible mothers that I've ever seen. She's just, in the face of adversity and what kind of person she is, you know, I know that she's going to be okay. Yeah. And we're all here to support her and hold her up as well.
Well, do let her know that we send our love and best wishes, and I do hope they've had a fantastic time. Sounds like an amazing trip. Yeah, oh, that's really good.
Yeah,
I'm glad she's doing well. So have you got any sort of design in progress that you might like to tell us about? Or is there anything else on the horizon? Because you've always got something clicking on the needles.
Oh, I have so many things right now. I will, if you give me 1 second, I can show you some of those things. Would you like me to do that?
Yes, please.
I will be right back.
Yay, exciting. Oh, I definitely want to do that shawl. It's gorgeous.
All those prizes.
I know.
Yeah, and I would strongly, I will put links into the Plum Dandy group. Alicia will be leaving us when she's finished chatting to us about what she needs to cover today. But I would strongly encourage anybody just to support Melissa. We didn't really talk about it, but Melissa's husband has ALS. We call it motor neuron disease here. And they're a young family. So yeah, it's a pretty crap time for them at the moment, and I'm really glad that they're embracing the memories and doing things while they can, because that's what the children will remember, isn't it?
It's a cruel disease, it really is.
It is, but you know, medical advances happen all the time, so let's, you never know, do you? Oh, Michelle's saying that she loves the little pouches. Is that
I love those
little heart ones with the notions in, Michelle, or are you talking about the Namaste bags? Because I thought they were quite clever as well, so that you can actually see what's in.
And you could just grab that on the way out of the house. You know, Lorraine, you can have one in the car for when you're going to pick Jake up and you wait.
No.
Uh-oh.
Honey bun again.
Happy dog.
Say hi.
She is seriously the melodiest dog most of the time.
Oh, she's
We love
beautiful.
Okay, so I was looking for one of the patterns. I can't find it right now, but this is the tank top that I'm working on right now in Quince Kestrel, and I'm almost finished. I just need to bind off on the shoulders, and it's kind of a little
That's
croppy
pretty.
with a little bit of lace at the bottom, and it's just really kind of basic and simple. And I tried it on last night. This is the one that I had to seam, and I was just so excited about the fit when I was finished with it. And then I am working on,
It's a lovely color as well.
Oh, it's a really pretty color. This is a little outside of my color comfort zone typically, but my friend Robin over at Work Play Knit, it's a cotton silk blend for summer. And so I'm doing a little, just little pine trees. It's going to be a drop shoulder t-shirt with a lot of positive ease to it.
Yeah.
Working on the back on this. This one's a little slower because it's much tinier needles. Yeah. I have a pair of socks I'm working on in spin cycle yarns right now, which is really fun because their yarn mimics the hand spun, and so you get like a lot of variation.
Oh, I love that.
And then so the heel and the toe are going to be all just the CC. And this one's really fun. It's really just so fun to watch the color changes progress. And you can see this is the actual ball, and you can see how it behaves and how it changes.
So that's your colours, Emma.
Certainly my colours, definitely.
This one's really fun. And then I just went back to the portside sweater. This one, which is a really old sweater of mine, and it has these cute pockets on it, but it wasn't very size inclusive. So I tightened up the neckline a little bit and really graded the sizes out on that one. So that one's going to be re-released. And then I also just got yarns. So right now I have Tess Knitters working on a drop shoulder version of In Stillness. But there's a lot of different modifications. So there's a short sleeve version, there's a 3/4 sleeve version, there's a long sleeve version, solid version, and then there's also a slip stitch color version. And so I just bought some yarn to do the slip stitch color version too. Some of my testers are taking that option.
Oh, wow.
I feel like my monitor doesn't do this justice, but this is like a rich, like rusty, kind of orange color, like fallen pine needles, and this is kind of like a pale turquoise aqua, and so this will be my CC for that one.
Gorgeous.
And I have a few more things I can't show you yet.
Ooh, we all like a good secret project.
Yeah, I'm loving that rust colour. That's absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that. I'll have to stalk the group for the testing notices.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, too, if you want more notifications on my stuff, Instagram actually has an algorithm that I just learned about a little while ago. And that is that it will, if I put up a post, it will only send that post out to about 10% of my users, unless I get a lot of commenting. And so if you comment on my pictures, you're more likely to see my things show up again in your feed. And that's when you won't miss, because that's where I post almost all of my test knit calls and things like that. It's so visual. It's just easier for me to put it up there and then have everyone else reach out to me on Ravelry after.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Is there anything else you would like to mention about the knit along, other than obviously we want everybody to join?
I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and thank you so much for having me. I absolutely love watching your podcast because I think you two are absolutely hilarious. You have me in tears half the time, laughing so hard. And I think we all really need that right now.
When we talked about you and your boobage, I was like, oh my God, I hope she's not like offended.
And then I got up in the morning and there's a message and I'm thinking, oh no.
We're in trouble.
Uh-oh. And then it was, oh my God, I sent it across to Emma and she just howled with laughter and flew.
No, I thought it was really funny. Really, really funny, actually.
Yeah, because we're always talking. we're always talking about fit, aren't we, and what suits different body shapes and things like that. So yeah, we do sort of focus on boobage and shoulders, and I'm always doing hip shaping and making extra room for that. But yeah, it's all good. It's been wonderful having you with us, Alicia, and thanks ever so much for joining us.
I was so happy. Anytime. Thank you so much for having me. It's been really fun.
Oh, that's brilliant, and great to meet Honey Bun as well. Sorry if there's any noise in the background. I've got 2 Labradors that have just woken up.
Mine's still asleep.
Oh, they are the best.
Hello. Come on.
I'm definitely going to make that full.
Okay, so this is Coco. The other one never makes an appearance. She's a bit grey on the muzzle now.
Oh, she's beautiful.
I've got 2 from the same litter, Mocha and Coco, and are they 8, I think? So yeah.
They're beautiful.
I used to have their mother. So.
Well, thank you both so much for having me. I'm going to scoop up my mother and spend the day with her today. So I'm really
brilliant. Have a lovely time, and thank you so much for joining us. That's absolutely brilliant. And we'll be doing a bit of a dive into your patterns now on Ravelry, and just chatting about various designs and having a look at the campside patterns so that everybody can see which ones are included.
Yes. Oh, and I forgot to mention that I can't believe I forgot this. So all of the campside patterns are 25% off through the kickoff day of the Knit Along with the code Campside 2020.
Fantastic.
Anybody wants to get them at a discount, and it's more affordable for them that way. And my laptop is about to die. All of the details are
We're really good at enabling, so don't you worry. It'll be fine.
Okay, that's great. So the exit button is bottom left on your screen. There's like 3 little vertical dots, and then you'll be able to click.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Lovely.
thank you, and see you soon. Bye.
Oh, she's gone already.
How awesome is that?
Oh, that was fab. I'm just feeling a little bit starstruck at the minute.
Isn't she just adorable? You did take a deep breath. Michelle saying she absolutely loved the patterning on the sock. That yarn was fabulous. It reminds me a little bit of the is it the Zauber Ball Crazy?
I don't know.
Have you not seen the Crazy Zauber Ball? It might be slightly more affordable option than us ordering yarn from America, but
well, possibly
very, very similar. But that's lovely. Should we do a bit of screen sharing now and have a look?
Yeah, go for it.
Do you want to do this, or shall I do this?
You go for it. You're much more technically minded.
You keep saying that, but it's just an excuse to make me do the work.
Well, you know, it's like men doing the washing up badly.
Okay, so I'm going to do an advanced search on Alicia's patterns, and then we'll go into that one. I have
quite a few in my queue.
I've got 49 of her patterns in my library. So how much of a fangirl am I? So I've just done the search for Alicia Plummer. So we've got 249 matches. I remember we looked at Wyeth the other week, which is that arrow pattern of Fable, obviously we featured. And Becoming, we had spent quite a bit of time on Becoming, didn't we?
We did.
So if I do a search now with Campside. Sorry, I'm trying to do this on my laptop keyboard because I put the other keyboard behind me, and of course with having longer fingernails when it's not COVID time and you have to trim them off, it's making it difficult for me to type because I'm used to having my hands at a set angle to fit the fingernails on, and I've rubbed off all the letters on the computer, so people will say, can I borrow your laptop a minute, and then hand it back.
Excellent.
Can't read anything. So can you see the Campside drop? That's the one that Alicia was talking about.
Love it.
Let's have a quick look at. I love that colour.
That is just gorgeous.
That sort of rustiness.
That would look nice on me. Is that a DK?
I think it is a DK, and I like the graduation of the raindrops. I love that she's made that as a theme, and then it's a nice drop. It's not a hanging off your body drop.
Yeah.
Not the ridiculous oversized that some of the drop shoulders are. So again, this will be included, and there will be 25% off with that code.
The thing is, how do you know which one to get? I mean, there's too many choices.
Difficult, isn't it? And then there's the Campside wrap, which is the predecessor to the one that she showed us today. I think this is a sort of rectangular one rather than the shaped one. So can you see the details there, where again it's the same theme with each of them, where it goes from sort of little spitter spots of rain to almost the torrential downpour, which I suppose is how grief goes, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And there's the children's campside.
Oh, what ages does that do?
It's 24-inch to 34 chest, so up to teens and small ladies, to be honest. She doesn't do a kid sizing by age, she does it by chest size.
It's quite good.
Again, it's cute. It's a raglan, so it's going to be a flattering shoulder for most people, and it's an easy one to make fit your shoulders quite well. Obviously, in the past, we've talked about fit at the shoulders being quite important. This is the one that I made, you know, with that linen coloured yarn I used for my other Edie, one of the other Edies. My many Edies.
What is the collective noun for Edies?
Oh, I don't know. Is it an
Edies?
I don't know. We'll have to think about that, won't we? But you'll see it's a nice shoulder line on that one. It's very similar in the way that the increase is on the raglan, and then it's a sort of scoop rather than a crew. So, but it's not a deep scoop.
Picture of her, like front on with her arm. So that one, that's it. That one, yeah. I love that.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
That might be the one that I'm making next.
Yeah, so I've already got this one in my library. Oh, there's a shock. I did use 5mm needles with DK yarn,
right,
to get the 18 by 28 gauge. But I think I went with too big a size. I went with the 45, and I should probably have gone for the 41 and then increased at the hip.
18 stitches, isn't that quite
it's an Aran gauge.
I was going to say,
yeah, it's quite loose. I'd be tempted almost to make the size up and do it at 22 stitches for a DK type gauge, to be honest. And then there's the Campsite cardigan, which I also have. Shocker.
Oh, look at that. Oh,
there we are.
I love a cardigan.
And I like the deep sort of ribbing, the fact that there's no buttons to worry about, but you could put clear snappers on it if you wanted it to close. I mean, just how beautiful is she, for goodness sake? It's not natural, is it?
You could fall out with people, couldn't you?
And then the original Campside, which was sort of the journey. So this is the pom-pom one, and this is the free pattern, which you can get from the pom-pom website.
Right, okay. Oh, I don't know which one to make.
And then, of course, there'll be the new wrap, which will be released in time for this.
Is she releasing that on the 1st of August when the whole thing kicks off?
I believe so.
Right. Okay.
It may come out sooner, I suppose it depends on how quickly test letters finish. So do we want to have a look at some of her other patterns while we're here?
Yes, definitely.
And then I think we should probably spend a few minutes looking at Melissa's.
Yes.
I quite like this one. I'd love to make this. I would probably use a light brown or a beigey colour or something like that, one of my neutrals. But in a lovely grey, this would be fabulous for work.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a good office basic.
Really versatile.
And I really like the tweedy yarn. Can you see that?
Yeah. What thickness is that?
I think it's DK. Yeah, Bare Naked Wool's Stone Soup. There's a name to die for.
Yeah.
That's a stunner, isn't it? I might have that one.
Only might.
I've knitted Instance.
Okay.
I haven't got Willard Bulky, but we have looked at this one before.
I was
because of Amanda Corvello, and I loved this photograph.
This is gorgeous. I love the way that her jumper goes with the wood in the background.
Everything is perfect. I love looking at Amanda's projects, and she frequently test knits for Alicia, which I just think is great because I love to see it on a curvy lady and get a better idea. Now this one, I seem to remember she was talking about holidays, a sweater that her mother used to wear.
All right.
When they were going on summer and winter holidays.
Oh,
and
wow.
I really like the way the cables go over the shoulders for the drop, and then the high neck.
It's gorgeous.
And the detailing and the texture on the sleeves. There's kind of a lot going on, but it marries together really well. And of course she looks gorgeous.
Yeah, like I said, you can go off people.
You can. I might have this one.
Is that Fernway?
Fernway.
See, I love that. The yoke just does not look good on me, unfortunately.
I like a yoke sweater, but I generally take the neckline down a bit and do some more short rows because I don't like it too close to my neck.
It really
unless it's actually a cowl or a rollover. I think I've got blackcurrant. It's probably be easier to say what haven't I got.
Probably. Actually,
I don't think I got Silver Branch because that's very similar in construction to Gail. Now Alison in the after party group knitted this one, Puddles and Peas, I think, in the last gift along.
Oh yeah.
I think that's nice, and I think that would work really well with a cotton or a linen. So I'm wondering.
I didn't know Alicia did take part in KAL.
She doesn't take part every year, but she joined again last year. So I'm thinking that would be quite nice.
Because it must have been the year before then. When do you remember I started making E's about a week before the KAL started?
Yeah, and then couldn't talk, and because she wasn't in it.
Yeah.
No, she missed a couple of years, but I think the reality is that as the single mom again, you know.
What's the neckline?
I think it's a. Is it a V? Yeah, it's a V.
I really like that.
I think it's beautiful. I think for me, I would do the bottom texture and stuff in the main colour, because if you've got a big backside, you don't need to underline it with a thick band of colour or texture. I would keep it the same, but I would have the thin stripes over the body.
Yeah.
And again with the cuffs, I might keep them in the main colour just for my body shape. Because when your arms are down, I don't want that contrast next to the hips because that adds width.
Right.
Because if you look like Alicia, it's not really a problem, is it?
Well,
Look at how that skims just so beautifully. What a good spot about all our boobage comments, bless her.
Like I said, we've got no boundaries.
No, it's like the filter's been switched off. I might have Sing Winter as well, and I might have these, is it Paiscos mitts? I've got that, and there's a matching hat somewhere. And I've got the Plum Dandy Knits book that she and Melissa did. And I've got Candle Flame hat, Candle Flame cowl, Candle Flame mitts. Just how sad am I?
No, you're not
I've got
sad.
Promise. I haven't made that.
Let's have a look.
I really like the pattern on that.
Oh, look at that. I love it. What is that? Is that a chunky DK?
It's an Aran 16 by 20. So Aran with larger needles. Many have found they prefer the fit when going up a size, and it is highly recommended. And it's in honour of Elena Nordell, who died of breast cancer a couple of years ago.
Oh.
Very sad loss. Now, there's the campsite pull-off. We've looked at that, haven't we? One of hers that I bought with no intention of making it is called Oak Moss, and that's just because my parents, the little terrace where they live, is called Oak Moss.
Oh wow, that's quite cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it just really amused me. This one, because of the sort of intarsia side panels, has caused a few people problems where they've been confused by the instructions, but I suspect that they were not particularly competent knitters.
Do you know what though? Isn't that supposed to be quite like slimming when you've got that panel coming in like that?
Yeah, yeah, very much so. And if at the waistline it went to thinner stripes and
Yeah.
then wider stripes above and below, again that enhances the slimming effect.
See.
So look at that tiny bottom.
Ooh, gorgeous.
I know, it's adorable. What next? That's quite a nice one, Eggerton. I've got this one as well, Breakaway. If there hadn't been the knit along, I'd have probably made this sweater next because I quite like the sort of eyelet pattern. It's hard to tell from there, isn't it?
Bit of a lacy detail.
Yeah, and then there's the patterning on the back, which drew me to it in the first place. I think that's really pretty, just that central panel. That's the DK one, I think.
It's like, how do you choose?
Well, I just tend to buy them. Oh, downtime. That was I made a little downtime for Isla. And a big downtime for me, and I've made white pepper. Mine's called terracotta pepper though, because of the colour. My downtime is in a terracotta colour. Same yarn. I've made Old Farm. Haven't made Mountainside yet, but I think I do have that pattern. And I think I've got this one.
Time. Seriously.
I think when it's your main income and it's your full-time job, it becomes something that yeah. Nezzy's got, oh, there's a shock. I've got that one.
Have you?
Yeah, you'd never believe it, would you?
No,
I don't think I bought those. I really love the colour of that ginger maple, especially with that scarf. I do like her shawls as well, and I've got this Staring at Stars cardigan that I really like. Again, it's got this texture on the lower body, and then it's eyelets.
Oh yeah,
I don't actually like eyelets for the raglan, so I no, drive me bananas.
Why?
I don't know. I have to be honest, I have absolutely no clue why.
If you don't like it, you don't like it. It's fine. I like them.
Yeah, so if I just click on that one, that's another one I really liked. I like the neckline.
See, I love that, but again, I don't think I could wear that neckline.
So where's the group? Where's the Plum Dandy group? That's usually linked to from there, but it's not. It's here though. Here it is.
Yay!
So this Plum Dandy group, I will copy that and paste that onto Facebook. Oh, Michelle's saying, leave us less competent knitters alone. No, we prefer to help you and enhance your skills, enhance your knit and foo. So this is Melissa. We'll have a quick look at Melissa's stuff. I really like this unfinished bister.
Oh, that's lovely.
I think that's 4-ply yarn, and there's a short sleeve version as well.
I think I should make that.
I think that looked really good on you.
And also, it looks like the kind of knit that I enjoy making. And
it's fingering weight on 4.5mm needles, 20 stitches and 28 rows. I could probably get that with a 4mm needle, to be honest. So I would definitely do a swatch. Is it me, or that little sort of lacy bra under there looks a bit like the bum of a thongy type knickers?
Where you see it poking above the jeans?
Yeah.
Yeah. She just needs a little tattoo on the top of it.
I think the colours of the yarn
Is that Melissa modelling that, or is that somebody else modelling
I
it?
think it might be one of her stepdaughters.
Right.
Her husband's got children from a previous marriage, and they have 2 girls together.
Right.
I think this might be one of their girls.
Oh, she's pretty.
Beautiful. No, nice little garter shawl. It'd be a nice beginner introduction to shawls, actually,
Yeah.
because there's nothing there that's super complicated or difficult. Moraine as a cowl is an absolute beauty, but there's a lot of cable in there. I think you'd certainly be very competent with cables by the time you finished it.
Even if you weren't when you started.
Yeah, I think for an adventurous beginner, I think it's a good one to go for. I like a lot of her children's designs that she does. I mean, this little Kayla Pitter, because that's what the daughter called caterpillars. I just think that's really, really cute.
Like a hodgepod.
Yeah, and that's the sort of things that you remember, isn't it, as your children are growing up. And I think Bromley is a really pretty hat.
That is lovely.
That's Quince & Co. yarns. I love that burgundy colour on that lady. That's beautiful. But do have a look at Melissa's designs. I'll put the link in for Alicia's. And I particularly like this one as well. I love the honeycomb texture and the cabling above and below.
That looks like it's knit side to side.
Yeah.
And then...
yeah, nice raglan up top and then borders put on later. I just think that's lovely. Really creative, very inventive.
I love a really interesting construction.
And I might have this one. Not that anyone would believe that I would have that towel. I don't know, it looks like a really nice basic.
Oh, that looks like an everyday jumper that you just want to wear all the time, wouldn't you?
Yeah, just for slunking around the house and it's nice enough for go. And I think this one's pretty as well. So I love the name Key to Comfort.
Oh yeah.
And again, it's a drop shoulder, a bit of a scoop knit, very symmetrical eyelet pattern all over the body. But I love that blue on Melissa.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I think Melissa looks fantastic there. She looks stunning.
Yeah, I like that one.
Another summer lady.
Oh, is she?
I would say so from that, yeah. Yeah, I think the hair's very ashy, and the only time you see golden in it is when the sun's on it. You don't see it in the shade. So
Yeah,
Keys of Comfort, that one. I think that's really cute.
Some of us are still feeling a bit sore about the whole ashen blonde, so I wouldn't talk about it too much.
Okay, never mind. I might have this one.
Oh, look at that.
Isn't that gorgeous? And let's have a look at it in the sort of mustardy colour.
It just reminds me a little bit, especially the bottom row, of tulips. I don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah, you set me off now with Tulips of Amsterdam, which used to be the tune on my musical box.
Oh, did it?
Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da.
I might be singing soon enough.
Oh, Comfort of Lines, I might have that.
Only might.
Yeah, I think I've got this as well.
That's a nice cardie, isn't it?
It's bigger needles, it's 4-ply yarn. Not that I would know, of course, but it's 18 by 24, so it's an Aran gauge.
Cool.
You know, so it's ridiculously quick, very light meshy construction, nice garter panels to add a bit of interest to your knitting, and then plenty of shaping up the garment for that sort of almost coat-like swing shape down the bottom.
Like coated, but in a lightweight fabric.
Yeah. I can't remember if I've got this one or not. Yeah, I have. That's a shock. No one would believe that, would they?
Who would have thought it, eh?
Yeah.
Not me. I like that one.
I love that colour, but I'm not loving it on her.
Right.
I think the blue is better. But it's a stunning colour. It's absolutely, utterly gorgeous.
I like the colour.
And I like this one as well, which is very like ease, but it's a fingering weight and it's a drop shoulder rather than a raglan.
Yeah. It's a lovely colour, that.
And it's a folded cuff and then the kangaroo pocket on the tummy. And look at that colour.
Oh, yes. Is that for me? Has somebody made that especially for me?
I do believe they have. You just need to go and pick it up.
Excellent.
I might have this one.
Only might?
Yeah, might.
Might.
Doesn't say up in my library up on the right of this screen at all.
Exactly.
Again, drop shoulder, nice twisted rib on the neck and the lower body. I like the cast on and cast off edges. Not sure if that's tubular. I'd have to read the pattern. But doesn't she look lovely in that mustardy colour?
Yeah, that's a good colour.
What a gorgeous shine to her hair as well.
See, I love seeing the little tops poke out underneath the jumpers.
Yeah, it's nice layering. I've definitely got this.
All right, yeah. You're admitting to that one, are you?
Yeah, I've got it because of the pattern on the back. I really love that texture. It's like it's almost having a party and you can't see it.
It's fab, that.
That's a really pretty one. And I quite like this gunflint. This is the shawl. But I just really love the lace and the beautiful grey on her. I think is fabulous. It's just toned so well with her skin. Really cute. I might have this one.
My name is Loraine and I don't have a pattern problem. I have a time problem.
Yeah, what I need is to live an extra 1,000 years.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's just a miscalculation on available time. I might have this.
Oh, that's nice. Is that like the Baloo the bear?
No, because that's only one L.
Oh, right, okay.
It's Julie Acetylene Fino, so fingering weight 3.5 and 4 mils. So again, it's slightly larger needles for the yarn than you'd expect. So it does give a really light weight and it knits up super quick. And if you pick a super wash yarn, it'll just be something you'll go to and grab on a cooler evening on a summer day. I love this one, Pier 60.
Oh,
I love the texture, drop shoulder again. Perfect for the beach.
I love how these are all the, you know, she and Alicia does the same thing, modelling these gorgeous jumpers with shorts and nice brown legs. I don't think I've ever worn a jumper with shorts like that before.
I think my problem with shorts would be that everyone would be going, it burns us with the bright light. North Fork is one that we've looked at before when we were talking about summer top.
Yeah.
That's Quince & Co. Kestrel, which is Aran, and it's like a bamboo tape.
All right.
So it's an interesting yarn to work with. It can be quite challenging, bamboo yarns. And we've looked at this one before as well, Overland.
Yeah. I love that back.
It's beautiful.
It's almost unfair to have all the stuff going on in the back. Like you say, you can't see it. I feel
it's like a party you're not invited to, isn't it?
Yeah,
and does that,
it's there, and
you know, remind you of anything? That's almost like a.
Yeah, I think that if you twisted that, I don't know.
I think that's just a really nice little garment, Sea Stones. That's one I bought yonks and yonks ago. So I'll stop sharing now.
Oh, all right.
So you got us back again now. Sorry about that. Weavy Me with my rusty yarn, which I'm actually quite liking with the purple.
That's a very nice yarn. What are you going to make out of that?
I was thinking about campside cardigan. Because I've got 10 balls, I should have enough to make a cardigan. It's a DK cotton.
Yeah, I mean, you've done a few jumpers. It's probably about time that you had a cardigan on the go
Or
instead.
I could use my little favourite Baby Smiles Merino Shack and Maya, which is the same yarn I'm using for my Mary chain. And do you remember my Yuma, Isabel Kramer's Yuma with the elbow length sleeve?
The one
With
that I
this
said
yarn.
that the rest of that wool really should come this way, and so far it hasn't found its way over.
The other 70 balls.
Yeah, you said it was mine. I think you did. I distinctly remember that.
Well, I'm thinking of these two for something next for baby knits.
Oh,
so this is Starcraft Special DK, just because it's a really handy one for mums rather than us. And this is the mushroom colourway. And I can't remember if this is plum or grape, but I love the two of these together. It just brings out the almost light purpliness of this mushroomy colour. Yeah.
Love it.
What I'm doing next.
What have you got in mind? What are you thinking?
I've thought about another dress, but like a pinafore style, you know, with the buttons up the back.
Yeah, sounds
Something
good.
like that. And this is what I've got on the needles at the moment. So this is a baby cardigan. I don't know whether to knit it bottom up in one piece and join at the shoulders with a 3-needle bind off, and then pick up the sleeves. And I've done short row shaping for the sleeve cap and then work down for the sleeves, which I'm really happy with how that's gone. I quite like that. I started at the bottom back and worked up, and then I worked the tops downwards, but I don't know whether that might be a bit confusing for the knitter. So what I'll probably do is work everything bottom up in one piece to the armholes when I do the eventual pattern. So I'll have to knit another one, and I've just put the garter band for the neck.
Absolutely gorgeous.
So I'm quite pleased with how that's going in, and that worked up so quick.
That'll go nicely with that dress.
This dress.
Yeah. If you had them in the same colours, it would be like a little outfit.
Well, it would work with this dress as well.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I don't know what that dress is. Never seen that dress before.
This is Mabel, and she is able on the table.
Ooh! Naughty little Mabel.
Well, you know, a girl's got to have some fun.
Cool. Well, my plan for this afternoon now, after I finish speaking to you, is to go back to watching Outlander and try and finish sleeve numero 2.
Lovely.
And then I've got a collar to do then, haven't I?
You've got what, sorry?
I've got the collar to do then.
Yeah. Right. I'm just going to do the link to Alicia's shop. I did the link to the group, didn't I?
The link to the group, yeah. Plum Dandy.
So I'll do Alicia's link. I'm excited about the prizes that she's got for the knit along.
I think I might get the campside pullover and do, or the shawl. I do love knitting shawls though.
I like a shawl for around my neck of an evening as the nights sort of get cooler, but I won't put the heating on.
Yeah.
There's this rule in my head that says the heating doesn't go on till October. Put a jumper on. That's what jumpers are for. And that's why I've got crochet blankets littered around me, because that's what blankets are for. Why? It's not. Yeah. I just don't see the point when it's maybe cold for a couple of hours and then you go to bed anyway.
Yeah.
I should really slurp some of my hot chocolate.
Is it cold chocolate now?
Mm.
The other thing that I love about shawls, they are so versatile. You can wrap it around your shoulder. You can put it over your knee. Your knitting keeps you warm while you're working on it. But you can wear them like a scarf. I love wearing mine as a scarf, especially the triangular one. So you have the main bit down there and then the two.
Yeah.
Love them. Just love them. So I'm in two minds, jumper or shawl.
The speed at which you knit Fable, you could probably do both.
Ooh.
And don't you love that she forgot to check gauge first?
I love it. She is like a real person.
Oh, she is. She's just adorable, and she's been so
Yeah.
sweet about keeping in touch and making sure that she made the time. And wasn't it lovely to see Honeybun?
Oh yeah,
Love
love that
seeing
dog.
everybody's puppies.
Well, we all love Doggy Woggy Woo Woos, don't we?
Yeah, I put the group link in, didn't I? One of us is paying
You
attention.
put the
So,
group link in and
Ravelry
you,
group, Plum Dandy, Alicia's thing. Did I put Melissa's link? I didn't.
no, you've not put any links for Melissa.
Right. Okay. So, Melissa for her shop, obviously. And if you like any of her designs and were dithering about them, obviously bear in mind that they could probably benefit from a little bit of support right now.
And if you can't decide which ones, give us a shout because we're really good at that.
Well, and I've probably got the pattern, so I could probably have a quick snick at the pattern and say, that's got this, that's got that. Are you confident with that? Maybe try this one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we could cast a.
We love spending other people's money for them.
We do. We absolutely do.
Mm.
So hopefully everybody's enjoyed that little romp through some of Alicia and Michelle's designs and seeing some of the prizes for the Campside Knit Along.
Gorgeous.
Which we are ridiculously excited about. If anybody wants to share this with friends, please do. And I'll be loading up a copy of today's live onto our YouTube channel later on today. So please share that with your friends and get as many people to come along and join in. And we can get the word out about Melissa as well. I'm just so glad they've got that family holiday and all of those memories. That'll be fantastic for the girls, won't it?
It will.
I'm really desperate to make that unfinished business sweater now.
You know, you've got time. It's not the 1st of August yet.
Well, that's true. Oh, there's a lady here who's made it in a size that's similar to like what I might make.
Oh, yeah.
So do you want to see that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Before we say goodbye, we have a Skeggers Cheggers.
Yeah. Now, can you see this beautiful lady?
That is gorgeous. I do love that unfinished business.
I love the brown. Should we have a look at the yarn itself? Isn't that?
That looks a bit shroomy, doesn't it, in that picture?
It does. It lovely knitted up, and there it is in the cake.
What is it? What yarn is that?
Knit Picks Hawthorn Tonal Hand Paint.
Oh, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Beautiful in a fingering weight yarn, and I love the fit on her.
Yeah.
See, what she's done is she's chosen a size that fits her bust and her lower body and gone with little or no ease. And I think that's really slimming on her. I think that's beautiful. Works really well with her curves.
If she'd have gone for a big one with lots and lots of ease, I think in that situation it would have just made her look really big, like she was wearing a sack.
Yeah, absolutely.
That suits her beautifully.
And I love her in that colour.
Enhances the assets, shall we say?
Yes, it does show off the girls rather, doesn't it? But not in a here are my breasts, please take them kind of way. Just in a I've got curves and they're dangerous.
Yeah.
Sort of way.
Yeah.
So there you are. I just thought I'd share that with you.
Don't you moment.
Yeah. Right, see if we've got any more comments. Oh, Michelle says she really enjoyed that. I am glad. Are you going to take part in the knit along, Michelle? And have we got anybody else with us today?
That would be really cool. I don't know if Michelle's ever knitted a shawl before, actually.
Alicia's shawls are really well written, and she tends to go for simplicity and effect without the drama. I think if you pick a shawl design from somebody like Stephen West, who is a magician with colour and texture, you are in for a learning journey and a colour adventure, and it's a bit of a roller coaster ride for a beginner. But you will end up with something that's amazing. But I think with Alicia, it's her patterns are really generally quite relaxing to knit, and that's why with the ease sweater, I mean, I've made 4 of those now for me. I actually made 2 in exactly the same yarn because I might have shrunk the first one. It was one of those where it's a dark black brie colour of the Stylecraft Special Aran with wool, and it has little flecks of cerise going through it.
Right.
And when you take a photograph of it on an angle, it's almost like jewels. It's beautiful. It's just a fabulous yarn. Love that colourway, the black brie. And I knitted it, and then I must have put it in thinking, oh, I need to do some delicates, and just left it in the machine, and then distracted for a nanosecond like a goldfish, and then came back with all the jeans and put them in the machine, and forgot all about the sweater until I took it out for Barbie. Even Barbie might not fit it now. So it ended up being sewn up into a project bag that went to a few groups with me when I used to actually go out to knitting groups back in the day, when I was sociable rather than just wanting to shoot everybody in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the kind of shrinkage that happens when you have too much chocolate in the house then?
No, it wasn't that kind of shrinkage. I've actually lost quite a bit of weight, and it was the smaller size than I would wear now. And I really loved the fit. And I tailored the neck decreases so that you didn't have to have the draw cord thing at the neck. So that just came in quite nicely. And I was so chuffed with the neckline on it, and then had to knit it all again.
How
yeah. You just can't get the staff, what can I say?
You just can't get the staff.
Right, so we will be back again on Thursday
day, yes. Knit night.
I know, exciting. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but we'll come up with something.
Yeah.
Or if anybody wants to chat about some patterns they might be doing for the knit along. Or,
yeah, tell us if you've picked anything. That'd be great.
Yeah, or maybe you want to have a look at sort of, I have design sketches all over the house.
I think you've had a visit from a certain person, haven't you, recently?
What, Minnie Mouse?
Yeah, I think you have.
I don't know.
I think so.
Do you think it's her that was waking me up at 2:30 in the morning going, wake up? I think that was Minnie.
Yeah, without a doubt. She's been like a whirling dervish through your house these past few weeks.
Well, I wish she'd cleaned while she was on with it.
She could come over here and sort out my big pile of leaves in my back garden.
Well, yeah, why doesn't she ever do anything like that? It's just so rude.
She could come and do the dishwasher.
You didn't do your poem.
Oh, my poem.
Well, you're going to have to read out the poem for Alicia Plummer.
I'll read it out because I'm sure word will get to her if she doesn't get a chance to hear us. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Right, limerick. It's a limerick for Alicia. There was a young woman called Alicia, and no one designed patterns prettier. She came on our show just to say hello, and no other guest made us happier. Yay! It's been a while since I've had a new poem in Poetry Corner.
I know. All for Alicia as well. So Alicia Plummer is in the house.
She was in the house. Major fangirl here. I was
it's really exciting.
I don't know if we'll top that, but never mind.
I don't know. I'm thinking, who do we need to ask next?
Oh yeah.
Maybe people need to come up with suggestions and we can see who we can get on the show. I think we should get Prince Andrew.
Now, what would you like to ask him, Loraine?
I bet our girls would come up with some really great questions for Prince Andrew. I think he's not coming up. You can see Beatrice's wedding dress.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous, isn't it? Based on a dress that the Queen wore once.
I think it's adapted from it. It's been refitted.
Yeah.
I was saying. So yeah.
Gorgeous. I liked it.
I think they're beautiful looking girls. They really are. And I have to say that Sarah Ferguson's outfit at Harry and Meghan's wedding was the triumph. I thought she looked amazing.
I like her.
I've got a lot of time for her because
I
she's
think
just,
she was just badly treated, the same as Diana.
I think she's just like one of us, really.
Yeah, yeah.
She looks like somebody you could have a pint with at the pub.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, who doesn't like having their toes sucked? Let's be honest.
Well, yeah, I do believe I've got a book upstairs that a friend sent me from America, and it's a Weight Watchers book called Dining with the Duchess.
Oh, get in there.
There's a whole page about yogurts and which yogurts to have in your fridge and things like that, because she had full fat for the children and obviously zero fat for her. And
See, we've had this conversation with Michelle. You should just go for the full fat, because all they do is take the fat out and put sugar in, which is worse for you. You're better off with the fat than the sugar.
Yeah, you are, and it's healthy fat. My aunt always, she's a herbalist, and she always says, if you're going to go with dairy, go for full fat.
I go for the normal mayo and everything, me. I never go
I have
for
the
low fat stuff.
full fat lacto-free milk, but I have to weigh and measure it out in the morning.
Yeah.
And I measure enough for 2 days, and I know that's got to last 2 days. And if I run out, then I've got to have black tea.
Naughty, naughty.
Arthur woken up.
Yeah, he wants his tea now. Look, here he is.
You didn't get a sniff of honey bun then?
No, he didn't. What? I know. He says he knows it's what time it is. You can tell the time, this one.
Oh, Michelle says she's still in the major learning phase. I think one of the shawls would be quite a fun one to do, because if you get a yarn that self-stripes or just in a colour and a texture that you love, that will be like a warm hug on a wet day.
Well, she did show me some grey that she's just picked up this week. That might look nice in one of those shawls.
Yeah.
So anyway, we will continue that conversation on Thursday. See what I can enable her into in the meantime.
Yes, and I'm going to go and have my dinner. I've got a chicken thigh casserole.
Nice.
With carrots and onions, and it's snipped up with the scissors, jarred roasted peppers.
Very nice.
It's already been cooked and has an onion gravy over it. And then a total cheat, tinned potatoes out of the cupboard, mixed with rosemary, garlic powder, and some paprika, and then into the oven just to cook.
You will enjoy that.
Lunch today.
I had tuna mayo with salad and my own lettuce leaves and spinach leaves that I'd grown.
Ooh.
Very
tasty. Do we not get any photographs of your lettuce?
I did put it on my Instagram story.
I suppose I'll have to wander over to Instagram and have a look now.
Yeah. Or I can just send it to you. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Well, thanks everyone for coming along today. I hope you enjoyed that little chat with Alicia. I mean, it's astounding, isn't it? Because to me, before I started designing, I would never have dared to have got in touch with her over anything like this, or it's on a pedestal. And I love her style and the simplicity and just the not over egging the pudding.
Yeah.
You see a lot of design out there and you just think, wouldn't that be so much better if they'd just done a bit less?
Yeah. Less is more.
Yeah, and she just seems to absolutely understand that fine line and the elegance of it, and the Audrey Hepburn figure as well.
Coming.
I'm all for anyone who doesn't mind us chatting about their boobage.
Right, exactly. Boobage is very important.
It is. It is. Right, so we'll see you next Thursday. So I'll start clicking endy buttons.